Yeah, morning all. So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold 20 plus years of experience, which includes nearly 8 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django-based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, right? Yes. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering the following things, right? Why Python? Who can learn Python? Right. What are the prerequisites for learning Python? Right. And Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. It was introduced in the year 1989. More than 30 years ago, it was introduced. But why all of a sudden Python has got super popular? Reasons which makes Python super popular, and there are no prerequisites for learning Python. Anybody can update with Python. The statements of Python looks like normal English statements, even coding wise, if you observe, not even one-fourth coding as compared with other programming languages. How it was built by taking the features and advantages from different other programmings. Python real-time applications. Python real-time applications. What kind of applications we can develop today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing different types of. So just one by one, I will just brief you about the applications. Who are using Python today? Topmost applications built using Python. Companies using Python. Comparison with other programming language, coding wise, length wise, complexity wise, you can check how simple the Python statements. Reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, right? And Python scope and job market. The scope of Python and job market of Python, right? Yes. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's and tomorrow's session, right? Yes. It is a general purpose programming, Python. Why Python? Starting with why Python? I define Python in 5 lines. It is a general purpose programming, right? So before Python, we have got some programming languages. If you heard about these programming languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? These programming languages are purpose-based programming languages. They are used for a specific purpose, not for all the purposes, right? Pascal for complicated mathematical applications, Fortran for scientific applications, COBOL for business applications, right? For specific purposes. But a language, a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application. Such a language, we call it as general purpose programming language. So Python is such a kind of programming where any kind of applications we can develop, right? Any kind of applications like web applications, animation applications, automation applications, big data, data science applications, networking applications, embedded applications, gaming applications, desktop applications. In this way, wide varieties of applications we can develop today by using Python. Multi-programming features. Multi-programming features, right? Okay. What all the features we see, right? In different other programmings. All the features we see here in Python. Okay. I'll just discuss what are the various programming features Python has got. What are the multiple programming features Python as what? Because of which we call Python as a hybrid language, because of multiple programming features of various other programming languages. Python is a high level language. Python is a high level language, right? There are two types of languages. There are two types of languages. There are two types of languages. Low level languages, low level languages, and secondly, high level languages. Low level languages and high level languages. Low level languages, low level languages, example like assembly level language or machine level language. Assembly level language or machine level language. These low level languages, they are not understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are secondly, they are not portable. They cannot be carried from, means the code cannot be carried, right? They are not portable. And they cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. It's machine dependent, machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. High level languages like example like Python. High level languages like Python, right? They are human understandable. They are portable and machine dependent. Observe high level languages like Python. They are human understandable. They are portable. This is in case of low level languages, not human understandable. They are not portable. They are machine dependent. But high level language like Python, they look like normal English statements. They're easily understandable. They're portable. They can be carried, right? And machine independent. Machine independent. They can run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems, right? So Python is a high level language. Interpreted language. Interpreted language means, right? Python is a interpretation language. One second. Interpretation languages. We have got a compilation languages and interpretation languages. Compilation, interpretation. Example of compilation, C language. Example of interpretation, Python. If you have got some lines of code, if you have got some lines of code, it executes the entire code at once. It executes the entire code at once. It executes the entire code at once. It executes statement by statement, executes statement by statement. Line by line execution. It won't execute all the statements at once. In case of compilation, it executes all the statements at once and displays the errors, if any. If there are 5 errors or 6 errors, it will display. But interpretation, line by line execution, right, which makes debugging easy. If you get error in this particular line, it won't execute the remaining lines, right? User-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming language, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements, as I said, right? So Python is a general purpose programming, any kind of applications we can develop. has got multiple programming features. It is a high-level language. Interpreted language, user-friendly programming language, right? Okay, observe this. What are the programming features Python has got? Multi-programming features we have said, right? Python has got, Python has got, right? What programming features? Like procedural oriented programming features. Has got procedural oriented programming features. Example like, example like C language. It has got the features of procedural oriented programming like C language. It has got the features of object oriented programming. It has got the features of object oriented programming. Like example, C++ or Java. It has got scripting features. It has got scripting features like Linux shell script, like shell script, right? Yes. It has got the features of modular programming. It has got the features of modular programming features. It has got modular programming features. Example like Modula 3. So it has got the features of procedural oriented programming. It has got like C language. It has got the features of object oriented programming like C++, Java. It has got the features of scripting like shell script. It has got the features of modular programming like Modulo 3, right? Yes. Hmm. See, if two major programming languages which are used for enterprise applications creations, Python and Java are the two major programming languages used for enterprise applications creation. But but Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming. Without object-oriented programming, you cannot write a single Java program or an application. But in Python, with object-oriented, without object-oriented, with procedural-oriented, with modular programming, we can develop different varieties of applications. And scripting, right? Python has got scripting features, right? Python has got vast, it has got many libraries to scripting, right? It has got vast number of libraries, right? Where we can write many automation scripts in IoT, in robotics, in DevOps environment, right? Writing many scripts. And Python has got a great boom today because of this modular programming features. Modular programming, right? The concept of modules, the concept of modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got for different environment. Whatever environment you are from, whatever domain you are from, right? Python is providing modules. So if I say more on these modules, right? Yes, modules. It has got separate modules. Python has got separate modules for this data science environment. For data science, right? Python has got a separate modules. Even for big data, right? See, for data science, it has got nearly 10 to 15 modules Python is providing, like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, CP, right? In this way, many modules Python is providing for data science environments, for data analysis, data predictions, classifications, and clusterings, right? Right. For even big data environment, right? Especially like PySpark, that's got separate modules packages, right? Python is providing, right? And apart from that, even for networking environment, not only separate modules, a separate framework Python is providing, right? Separate framework it is providing. Yes, even for not only for networking, even for testing or test cases, right? It has got separate modules Python is providing. So for each and every environment or domain, it has got modules only, not only for computer applications, but even for electronics and even civil environment, right? It has got modules for operating system, OS kinds of activities. The name of the module itself is OS. Just by writing Python code, we can perform different operations. We can creation of directories, removal of directories, listing out what is present within a directory, renaming a directory. So different OS related activities, right? Even for each and every database, Python to connect with any database like Oracle, it has got modules like CX underscore Oracle is the name of the module for Python to connect with Oracle database, not only Oracle for MySQL, right? It has separate modules. It has got using that modules only, Python can connect with this database like PyMySQL, right? It has got modules like PyMySQL. Even for SQL server, right? It has got a module Python is providing to connect with this. So like PyODBC is the module for each and every database. It is providing a module. Not only this databases, even for the files, for Excel files, we can by writing Python code and executing the Python code. Excel workbook can be created, Excel file, and by writing Python code only, I can create Excel sheets, sheet one, sheet two, sheet three, right? If you just execute and check, go in, sheet two will be created, sheet three will be created, right? And I can insert data into sheet two. I can read data from sheet one, whichever sheet, right? So, right. We have got like Excel RD module, Excel SX writer, right? Even for not only for Excel files, like comma separated values CSV file. The name of the module itself is CSV. For even for XML files, for JSON files, JavaScript object notations, for PDF files, any kind of files, right? Python has got. By writing Python code, I can create a PDF file, right? And even for mathematical operations, we have got math module for statistical operations. Even for generating graphs, right? Like normal graph, bar graphs, histogram, right? Bar graph, pie. Okay. Okay. These kind of things you won't see in other programming languages, right? Like modular programming, except modular 3, it has got this concept of modules. That means thousands of modules Python is providing, right? In that modules, we have got many inbuilt functions, right? Inbuilt functions. Using that, we can perform the operations directly. For example, someone asked, right, what is means modules. We can import any module and you can use the features of it. For example, I'll import a module called math module. There is a module called math. If I want to find a square root of a number, no need to perform the top, just to say within the math module, there is sqrt function available. I want the square root of 16, you are saying, right? So if you import math, within the math, there is a function sqrt. You can make use of it directly to get the square root of 16. What is that? 4. That is the output. Import the module out of thousands of modules Python is providing to perform any particular task. And based on that, what is the function available? There is a help function available, right, in Python for to help you with the syntaxes. I'll later discuss about it. And square root of 16 is 4 in this way, right? So like thousands of models Python is providing, right? Yes. Modular programming features. And just as before you update with any technology, you need to know about what kind of applications are getting developed, right? Yes. Python real-time applications. Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python mostly used in creation of web applications today. A lot of web applications are getting developed, right? Web applications, right? So you may ask, you may get a query, right? From the last 25 years, from last 25 years, right? Yes. Java, .NET, all these are mostly used for creation of web applications. Why again Python, right? So Python, it has got some framework like Django framework. Python has got some framework like Django framework. At a rapid speed, you can develop a very rapid speed, you can develop a web application, right? With very less coding, not even one-fourth coding as compared with other programming, right? Or other web applications. It has got its flexible features it is providing. It has got its own database like SQLite 3. The name of the database is SQLite 3. Has got its own application server, providing many flexible features. It it automatically creates all the Python files, .py files required for your project. So, so with very less time, we can develop web applications. And secondly, today Python mostly used in automation applications. Automation applications, right? Using like technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, using technologies like DevOps environment, right? IoT, right? It is a physical network or device embedded with software, sensors, and electronics for exchanging data, for collecting data, and controlling the things from the place where you are, right? In a simple way, electronic devices connecting and communicating with each other, right? So here, 90% of the coding in Python, even for data science, right? Everything deals with the data. Data has got experience, data has got future reference. Using data or data science, we perform data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data clusterings, recommendations, pattern matchings, right? The main technique what we see here, ML, machine learning, right? Has got many techniques like regression, classifications, clusterings, recommendations, right? To implement all these techniques, right, we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming for this data science, ML, DL, machine learning, deep learning, right? Where it is providing many modules for these plottings, visualizations, right? Data analysis, like NumPy, CP, Pandas, Matplotlib, right? CP, Scikit-learn, right? Yes. Even DevOps for writing automation scripts, Python is one of the best scripting language with vast varieties of libraries, right? And one more major area where Python is mostly used today, right? Like your big data environment, right? Big data environment. So if today, just I'll take a minute where exactly it is used here. And today, if you see, like, you should have seen KBs, MBs, or GBs, or terabytes. But beyond that, we have got petabytes of data is getting generated. Petabytes or exabytes or zettabyte, etabytes, sotabytes, right? Yes. So today data is generating in petabytes. Up beyond this TB, we have got petabytes of data. For generating this huge data and for processing this huge data, we have got some big data tools or technologies available, right? Like you've heard about the Hadoop and Spark, especially, right? Especially Spark, very high speed processing technology, right? That huge volumes of data processing at a high rate of speed, right? Using Spark, using Python, right? Python language, like we call like PySpark, Spark with Python. apart from this, right? Yes, for scientific applications, right? Yes, we have got a separate module like CP, scientific Python, and even for numerical analysis, right? Yes, NumPy. For numerical analysis, we have got NumPy, right? Numerical Python. And apart from this, for graphical user interface and for animations, right? Yes, Python has got separate module like that. TK Inter it is providing, or PyQt are some examples of those, right? For every environment, it is providing modules. One second. Okay. For scientific applications, for numerical analysis, for graphical user interface, or for animations, like we have got TK Inter and PyQt, right? Yes. Okay. Even for another major area like game development, right? Lot of games, right? Like single user, multi-user games, right? Yes. Like Pygame. Okay. Pygame is one of the, for especially for developing games in Python. For developing games in Python, Python is providing a framework called Pygame. It's a framework given by Python for developing games. Apart from this, we have got PyCora, right? Another like framework given by Python for developing games. And for 3D games or for 3D rendering libraries, we have got PySoy, right? Pygame, PyCora, PySoy. These are the 3D rendering libraries like PySoy and for frameworks given by Python for developing games in Python. Apart from that, even for scheduling tasks, Python is providing Airflow for it. Scheduling tasks, right? Python has got Airflow. And apart from this, for testing or for test cases, right? Yes. And even for software development, Python for software development, right? Even software developers make use of Python as a support language. Even for business applications, right? Right, Python is one of the best guys in developing e-commerce websites. And apart from that, okay, software development and for business applications, right? And one of the hottest application of Python, like database applications, right? Without database, there is no web application. There is no web application, right? Yes. Python can connect with any database, right? Like Oracle, MySQL, DB to SQL Server, right? And even Python is used for web scraping, scraping data from different websites, harvesting data, or extracting data from different websites using models like URL lib module, BS4, Beautiful Soup models, right? And apart from this, it is Python is used for networking, right? Especially for networking applications, audio, video chattings, right? It is providing a framework like Twisted Python, right? Twisted Python is a framework given by Python for networking applications and even for embedded applications, right? For, for embedded application, one of these embedded applications, one of the most famous embedded application like Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computation, right? And for audio video applications, for audio or video applications, right? Yes. Like some examples like Team Player, C Play are some examples of it, right? Where some applications already developed using Python as part of this web development, that is framework, right? Web applications creations, right? I'll be showing you some examples on this video of audio video applications creations using Python. For even for CAD or 3D CAD applications, right? For CAD applications, right? Yes. And for computer vision, for color detection, face detection, object detection, right? Python is used even for robotics, and for desktop applications creations, right? Okay. So these are the, in this way, right? Many applications are there, right? Python, right? But these are some of those mostly used in big data applications, automation applications, in web applications, gaming applications, desktop applications, database applications, right? Yes. Mm. Who are using Python today, right? Who are using Python today? Topmost applications, topmost applications built using Python. Topmost applications built using Python, right? Yes. Okay. Google is one of the best example of Python web application. Google web crawling is first written in Java. It was too difficult. It was written in Python. Yahoo is other example, right? Yes. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Uber pricing algorithm is implemented using Python and this ML. Instagram Instagram built using Python. The prime reason for Instagram to choose Python is Python hybrid features, its practicality, right? And even NASA is using Python for its research and development activities because of Python multi-programming features. Some other applications like Quora, Reddit, Pinterest. Okay, Quora, Reddit, Pinterest, Dropbox, they're using Python, right? And one of these famous OTT platform like Netflix, right? Netflix using Python for its security, automation, and subscription related things, right? And MMOG, massively multiplayer online games, massively multiplayer online games, right? Yes. And even like Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python script, and BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. And for hardware testing, right? For hardware testing, companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this they use Python for hardware testing purpose. And iRobot for military and commercial operations, right? Yes, Python is preferred. iRobot for military and commercial operations, right? It is preferred. So these are some of these examples, right? Who are using Python today. The topmost applications built using Python. So from the discussion what we had till now, right? Yes. Reasons which makes Python super popular, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Yes. Which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? First thing, very less code we see in Python, right? Very less code we are going to see in Python, right? Very less code. Okay. So most of the programmers or developers are attracted towards Python. They are migrating towards Python because of its very less coding and simple syntaxes given by Python. As I said, the syntaxes of Python looks like normal English statements, right? And one more other feature, right? Python has got interactive mode. We can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives a response, right? For every statement, it gives response. Observe at the bottom in the search panel, I'm typing CMD to go to the command prompt. CMD, yes. Once enter into the command prompt, if you already Python is installed in my system, if I say Python and if I say enter, it displays the Python version. And can you see this three arrow symbol? Here you can type any valid Python statement and interact with Python statement by statement, right? 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4, 23 into 56. X is 10, Y is 4. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? X into Y, X by Y, right? Yes. Okay, X into 2, X to the power, double star means power symbol. X equal to hello, right? X into 3 prints hello for 3 times. X into 5 prints hello for 5 times, right? Just say quit. It comes out of this, right? Yes. Interactive mode, that is what we call interactive mode. We can easily interact with it statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response, right? And apart from this multi-programming features, it has got what all the programming features, right? We see all the features we see in Python and wide varieties of applications. Just now I discussed, right? Different varieties of applications we can develop today by using Python and many built-in libraries. Python has got many built-in libraries, right? We don't need to write huge codings. Okay. Has got many inbuilt libraries like nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got for different environments, right? Yes. 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 What is that? Jupyter Notebook will be used during the entire course also. Not only Jupyter Notebook, I'll be discussing on many other IDs. Python supports many IDs. In real time, we use IDs, but so one is Jupyter Notebook that is mostly for data science, big data environment. But for other applications also, right? I'll be showing you on multiple IDs, not on a single ID, like PyCharm, Jupyter, Spider, VS Code, Eclipse. In this way, on multiple IDs, I am going to show you, or not on a single ID, whichever, right? You can just practice on that multiple IDs I'm going to show you. Python supports many IDs, right? Yes. For different environments, different IDs are preferred, right? Yes. Among all that, PyCharm is the mostly preferred one, right? Yes. And for data analysis, for big data, for data science, this Jupyter notebook is mostly preferred. Okay, I'll discuss about it step by step, the downloading, installations, writing the code and executing the code on that. I'll be discussing on it. Yes. See, people who are from non-programming or zero programming, right? Okay. Okay. 1 second, right? And just observe this. I'm opening Google. I'll just open Google, right? And just say popular coding language. Popular coding language, right? So Python is the popular coding language, is the number one ranked programming language today with see JavaScript and Python, right? JavaScript and Python, the two most popular. Just observe this before we go with the results. These are the two most popular languages in this startup industry, and they are in high demand. Most startups use Python-based backend frameworks like Django, Flask, and Node.js, right? These languages are considered to be the best programming languages to learn, right? And apart, see this, the most popular programming language, right? The most popular programming language, Python stands first. Next comes the other programmings. The most popular programming language. The most popular Python stands first. You can see here, right? JavaScript. Python remains the most popular, right? Python remains the popular, most popular programming languages. See here, Python. Next comes Java, JavaScript, the other things, right? Most in demand programming languages of 2022 based on LinkedIn job postings in USA and Europe. Python, Java, JavaScript. So here, just observe this. Python remains first. Next comes Java, JavaScript, and the other programming languages. Right. Even in the year 2000, if you see any year, right? Python is the number one rank. Next comes Java, JavaScript. So as part of the course, I'll be people who go for Python full stack. I'll also discuss JavaScript, right? Yes. Which programming languages should you learn? Which programming languages should you learn, right? Python, JavaScript. Observe this. Emerging programming languages by popularity, right? First, this is the first Python, Java, JavaScript. Most popular languages, right? Python stands first. Next comes JavaScript or Java. Ranking wise, even if you see the rankings given, right? Python is the number one ranked. Next comes Java, JavaScript. Even number of top 39 computer science departments that use language to teach introductory courses, Python. Next comes Java and other things, but yes. And here, if you observe in the today's which language is mostly used, right? Python, 31% used in the industry. Java like 19%. C++, 9.8. C, 6.1. This I'm just open Google and showing you these things, right? It's Ruby. And even ranking by average salary, Python stands first, JavaScript. Even volume of job openings, Python and SQL stands first, right? In number of job openings. Even if you see that Python jobs and type in check, right? Python jobs, right? Yes. Python jobs. Yes. 1,60,000, right? 1,60,000 to 21 Python openings, right? Yes. And not only Python jobs, right? Even if you have got knowledge on this Python framework like Django, right? Yes, or Flask, Django jobs, Django jobs, right? Just observe here, 25,603 Django job vacancies in June, right? People who knows the knowledge on this Django are very, very less. Who has command on this Django are very less. So as part of the course, we'll be discussing in brief in depth about this Django framework too. That is as of now, right? People might be knowing Python, but framework of Python like Django, Flask, very less few people know, right? As of now, there is a less competition for this. Okay. Now, if you see what I'm going to discuss as part of this course, right? Yes. So Python basics, what is Python, why Python, history of Python, applications, features, advantages, versions, installation, right? What installation of Python, flavors of Python, right? Comparison between various programming languages, C, Java, and Python. Python operations, like modes of execution, interactive, batch mode, editors, IDs, data types, constants, variables, comments, type conversions, comments, escape sequences, strings, operators, different types of operators, right? IDEs, integrated development environment, right, of Python, like PyCharm, Jupyter, Anaconda distributions, Anaconda prompt and navigator, Jupyter notebook, Jupyter features, Spider, Eclipse, VS Code, all this I'm going to discuss. Flow control statements, right, looping statements, strings in Python, collections in Python, right, collection data types, and Python list indexing, list slicing, list functions, list methods, list addresses, nested lists, tuple operations, various sets, dictionaries in Python, functions, properties, their examples, categories of functions, arguments, default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, variable length arguments, and different types of functions like lambda function, filter function, map function, reduce function, zip functions, modules in Python, different ways of importing, renaming, reloading of modules, packages, errors and exceptions, right? Different types of errors, file handling, working with different types of files, reading, writing, and appending data, object-oriented programming features in brief, class object inheritance polymorphism, class object static, non-static, constructors, destructors, garbage collector, method overriding, regular expressions for extracting data from the required data, right? Different methods or functions provided by it, and database connectivity. Installation of one database I'll be showing you, working with the database operations and connection. What is the transaction management, handling errors, SQL queries, right? Python datetime module, different types of modules related to different environments I'll be discussing. Some modules related to data science, some modules related to big data, some models related to uh, graphics, some related to operating system, some related to regular expression, some related to data and time, some related to graphics. So in this way, and also how to create our own modules in Python, user-defined modules, and advanced concepts like iterators, generators, closers, decorators, web scraping, working with CSV, XML, JSON files, GUI programming, right? Graphic programming, Excel workbook. Yes. Data analytics, introduction to this data science, Python, Pandas module in brief, Python NumPy module in brief, and Matplotlib module in brief, right? So these 30 topics in brief, it will be discussed for this Python core and advanced. And people who go for full stack, total Python full stack, right? Total full Python package, including the frameworks like Django framework, introduction, web frameworks, Django installation, Django project architecture, applications creations, Django views, Django templates, Django admin, Django models, advanced concepts, right? And UI technologies also will be discussed freely, right? Like HTML in brief, CSS in brief, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript will be discussed in brief, right? So you need to have the knowledge on this web development, right? So for this web development technologies will be discussed. And just observe here, right, as part of this course. Okay, Python. Python core programming, Python advanced, right? Yes. Python core and Python advanced, right? So it takes nearly 70 hours I'll be spending on this. So that whatever I discussed, right, with many working examples, 70 hours of like 2 months duration, right? The fee structure is like 6,000, right? Yes. So that online team can see in that chart, right? They have given some message, right? Okay, any contact for them. Their contact details are provided. The payment details are provided, right? Yes. The course content details are provided in the chart, right? And apart from this Python, people who wants to go for total Python package full stack, right? Python full stack web development, right? You'll be provided first knowledge on this web development UI technologies for web development, right? So you'll be given knowledge on this HTML, CSS, cascading style sheets, JavaScript, a part of Bootstrap, and and apart from this Python framework like Django framework, D silent here, Django framework we say. In this, you'll be developing applications, right? Nearly 15 applications development you'll be seeing, right? You'll be developing 15 applications, right? Step by step. All right. And apart from this, another, I'll just provide you that knowledge on this one more framework, Flask framework. Flask framework, another framework of Python, right? And one more thing, providing knowledge on this REST API, right? And a project is going to be discussed, right? A project will be discussed. So for this, UI technologies, Django, Flask framework, REST API project for 2 to 6. So I'll be taking nearly 70 hours for that, right? 70 hours will be spent. This also takes 2 months duration, right? But for this UI technologies, Django, Flask, REST API, and project, the fee structure is 7,000 for this. So total Python plus frameworks. 70 hours for this. 70 hours, right? Yes. 140 hours, right? Yes. But okay, that is 2 months for this, 2 months for Python core and advanced, and 2 months for this frameworks, right? Yes, 4 months. But if anyone unable to spend 4 months of time, think that it's too long, then Monday to Friday, right? You'll be having sessions on Python, right? Saturday, Sundays, the weekend batches will be there, right? For these frameworks, where you can attend parallelly both, right? Because when Python is discussed, right, in the weekdays, immediately this UI technologies which doesn't require any Python knowledge like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. For this first 1 month, it will be discussed. When Python is discussed, by the time 60% of Python completes, then you'll go with the Django framework, class, REST API, right? So which you can complete with 2.5 months, right? You go parallel, right? Yes, 4 months. Fee structure, right? For this 6,000 for this, and 7,000 for this, total it is 13K. But if you're taking the entire package with a single payment, it's 12K, right? If you're taking separately, it is 6 and 7. Apart from this, I want to make it clear about the timings, right? Yes, Gopi Krishna. Yes, classes will be from Monday to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays I'll be taking, right? Not all Saturdays, but some Saturdays I'll be taking. Okay. Timings. Let me make it clear about the timings before you go with the payment process, right? Timings. First 1 week, right? Class session starts at 5 a.m., right? It starts at 5 a.m. After 1 week, right? I'm making it clear, right? Before itself, it starts at 6 a.m. First 1 week, it starts at 5 a.m., but after 1 week, it will be at 6 a.m., right? In the morning. Hmm. Offerings, right? You'll be getting that live recorded sessions, right? Live video recordings means each and every session recordings, you are going to get the same recording of your session. Live video recordings for every for example, now the session got completed, right? Within 2 hours time, you'll be getting the video to your Google Drive, and a soft copy of the class notes, clear soft copy of the class notes, right? Yes. And assignments and tasks to work with, right? Assignments and tasks to work with. Then only you can have some command on this programming to build your own code. And a WhatsApp group will be created for technical discussions, right? If you got any error, just you can take the snap of that error and you can just post in the WhatsApp. Anybody can answer. I'll be answering, right? And apart from this, resumes and interview questions. Okay. Live interactive sessions, right? So as it's a demo session, I was speaking most of the time, right? Yes, but in regular sessions, for every statement I type, right, you'll be responding with the expected result, right? That is what building the code. Yes. We'll be discussing in brief, in depth, right? You can just compare the course content with other training sites. So we'll be discussing in brief about Python core advanced. Right. And there is one more. I also deal with big data, right? There's a big data package is available, right? I also deal with big data, right? Where Hadoop, Spark with Python, right? PySpark, Linux, everything implemented in Linux environment, which also this big data package also includes Python, right? Core and advanced. It also includes Python core and advanced. That is the 2 months course, right? 70 hours Python core and advanced. It includes that, right? We are taking this big data package, right? Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, in that you're also going to get Python, right? So it's a uh, okay. 15K is the package, right? 15K is the fees for it. 15K, yes. So weekend batch only on Saturdays and so this Python, it will be from Monday to Friday. You can attend this current batch also. This will be from Monday to Friday. You can attend any of my Python batches, right? Either this 6 a.m. or any other, right? Once you got enrolled, you can attend any of my Python batch or this Hadoop PySpark. Whenever it starts, you can just join the batch. Okay. Monday to Friday, right? This one. And this weekend classes, this is Hadoop PySpark will be for weekends. Like 12 weekends it will be for 12 weekends. And Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours it will be right. Whenever it starts, you can just join this. And this upcoming to this Python, right? Our Python sessions will be 6 to 7, 6 a.m. to, yeah, it will be daily 1 hour, right? Yes. Any queries you have got, right? Any queries you have got, you can just go with your queries, right? Any other queries? You can just, you will be kept in unmuted status during the session. Any query you got, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your query, or you can type that query in the chat. Mm. So tomorrow also everyone can attend the session, same time at 5 o'clock using the same link to see more on this, right? So people from non-programming or zero programming, especially that, tomorrow I'll be just showing you coding wise, right? How simple the Python statements. I'll take a task, I'll implement in multiple programming languages and show you how simple this Python statements, right? As compared with other programmings, right? Okay. So tomorrow, okay, I'll be discussing all this. It's not like replication or duplication of today's session, but tomorrow we will be discussing the other things, right? Yes. So tomorrow, coding wise, how these Python statements look, some examples, some codings. Some from day after tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting with the actual Python technicals, like before I go with the installation, Python versions, software foundation, Python installations, execution modes, right? Those things, right? So if I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, I will sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow at 5 a.m., right? Using the same link, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow. Right? Yes.
Thank you.